You're listening to Opus de Requiem, a 7th First Edition actual play by Hallowed Haven Studios. As Herr von Groth would be thrilled to tell you, as much as he is thrilled to do anything that is, one must be armed and armored properly before entering battle. So it was that the young lady currently known as Julietta and I found ourselves acquiring a dress and having it tailored prior to our engagement on the field of battle that is the Montaigne party scene. The young lady currently known as Francesca ensured that our dear young gentleman, currently known as Alonso, was also in suitable battle array before we gathered in my rooms at La Grande Université to discuss our options. Our options, as it turned out, involved an extended argument about the nature of the Inquisition and the theological implications of the various prophets, while the ladies absented themselves to discuss their knowledge, or lack thereof, of the nuances of love. Having spent a proper time in palaver, we made our way to the Allée de Creux estate for our event. We were paired off to appear to be happy partygoers. Raoul Cissé du Sucé escorted Giulietta into the party, I escorted Francesca, and Heinrich and Alonso entered on their own, though Alonso took it upon himself to chat up Sylvia Flaubert de Doré, leaving Herr von Groth as a mighty, if purely decorative, wall ornament. After a few dances, and for Raoul at least more than a few drinks, we took note that La Grande Dame herself was present and made our way over. As the curtain rises on episode 3, Alonso's new friend Sylvia has just made introductions.
You all are in this massive ballroom at this party. You are listening to the guest of one of the hosts, singing in probably what is one of the most beautiful voices you've ever heard, hands down. It is no wonder that she is world famous. And it doesn't hurt that she's sort of a friend. At the very least, she is friendly enough to have, gotten you invitations to a party full of some of Montaigne's most wealthy and well-known. But as beautiful as the song is, it is not the focus of, at least not most people in the group. Certainly not one of the people in the group. Lucia Di Felici, you are steps away from the mother of the man that you're in love with. She is not... She's not a great beauty. She's not bad looking either. Given her age clearly shows, she has kind of one of those aquiline noses, very long and straight and pointed, somewhat pronounced chin. But her hair is done up in the latest fashion and decorated in fresh blooms that look like they've just been cut from a garden. And a gown of the latest make, probably by one of Montaigne's most well-known dressmakers, if not someone she has employed privately, so that no other will ever get to, well, while they are in her employ, no other will ever get to wear the same make, the same style and flourish. She has a fan in her hand and is using it to fan herself while having an animated conversation with an older gentleman. And as you all make your way up, the crowd parts a little bit to give you room. You could see out of the corner of your eye that Heinrich is hanging back, having realized the mistake he very nearly made by approaching to try and talk to the Grande Dame of Montaigne politics. You can feel a hand that you're sure is attempting to be steadying on your elbow, Lucia, from Alexander. Maybe he's trying to steady you. Maybe he's trying to stop you from rushing forward and doing something foolish. But none of that matters. Because you're a woman in love, and there's clearly only one right course of action here. So please take a drama die as I activate your hubris. For those listening at home, Lucia's hubris is reckless.
Is Alexander trying to keep me from moving forward?
No.
I march up to this woman with as much as ladylike as I can, which isn't hard. I've been trained this way. And I cannot help it. It comes out of my mouth involuntarily. And I feel, and I know that the train wreck, I know that I cannot stop it. And it is probably a bad idea as the words come out of my mouth, and yet here we are. So Buonasera, Madame Roy-Ring. My name is Lucia Di Felici, and I'm here to marry your son, Henri.
Alexander was looking forward. It does this sort of slow, almost robotic turn to look at Lucia, but says nothing.
Lucia looks like she's going to be sick.
Amazing. We're going to pause that because I want to get reactions from everybody else, because this is the first time anybody else in the group has heard the name Lucia Di Felici. We're going to start with the other Vodachan in the group.
The other Vodachan is dancing with Raoul and did not follow.
That's fair. I'm sorry. I apologize. I forgot. No, you are right. Neither you nor Raoul are there for this. Interesting. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Well, then we will start with Heinrich. Heinrich, well, you don't know the name Lucia Di Felici, but you know the name Di Felici. One of the Prince Di Felici is one of the most famous people in Thea.
Well, Heinrich, for a second or two, looks a little surprised at the name. He had already more or less figured out that she was using an assumed name, but had no idea what it was. He looks, as I said, looks shocked for maybe about a second, and then goes back to his normal, reserved face, and is going to kind of move a little closer to this confrontation without looking like he's trying to get closer. He's going to kind of move behind the woman, maybe 7 or 8 steps, kind of behind her, so he can see and observe, but still stay unobtrusive.
Which woman? Are you going behind the Grande Dame, or are you going behind
the Grande Dame? Yes.
Okay. So you were wanting to watch the faces of your cadre more than the person that they are interacting with.
Yes.
Excellent. Alonso then.
Alonso's mouth opens slightly. His eyes are wide. A number of thoughts move through his mind. First, that he has been deceived. Second, that he has been deceived by a Vodachan, so that's kind of on him.
That's fair.
Third, that he expected this to be an initial negotiation, and instead it would seem that the interested party has immediately opened fire. In a manner of speaking.
Indeed. Okay.
I would like, if possible, to just reach across behind Lucia and press Alonso's chin up a little to close his mouth.
That is absolutely possible, I think.
I think he's also going to acknowledge that he knows his job. He remembers, if that guy says fight, I fight. Otherwise, try and figure out what's going on, because clearly I'm miles behind. And I think he's going to glance over and see what Sylvia's reaction is, because she knows more about this situation than he does.
Ooh, that's a good question. All right. Let me see what skills you have that would help with this.
Cold reading?
Yeah. Let's go with a wits and cold reading.
Best investment I have made.
15 to get a basic read, and you'll have to take raises if you want to get more than just like a passing impression.
I'll take a raise.
Okay.
Oof.
Didn't make it. Would you like to spend a drama die?
Of course I would like to spend a drama die. I'm just questioning the wisdom of that decision. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm bad, but I'm doing it. Okay.
All right.
24.
There is a faint. You get the faint impression of surprise. One of the things that you have realized being at the Montaigne court is that their faces almost never express how they actually feel. You picked up on that really, really quickly just being in the room. Nobody here is exactly what they seem to be on the outside. They're all very, very good at hiding that. Now, that's not terribly surprising. You haven't only interacted with people from your homeland, and even people from your homeland, there are some people who are just very, very good at masking true intentions, or just appearing very unflustered when they're definitely very upset. It is a skill that has become that is very necessary for people with your kind of passionate bloodline to have to learn eventually anyway. These people are masters of it. And so there is the briefest of moments where there is a faint look of surprise. And then that mask settles back into place. But the second impression that you get, the deeper impression that you get is, yes, she is surprised by the announcement. But she is also both intrigued and wary of the answer that it will bring.
Cool.
As her eyes kind of, not directly, but very subtly kind of check the Grande Dame out of like the corner of her gaze.
Cool.
All right. The Grande Dame, who was in like mid-sentence to one of the older gentlemen that she was talking to, pauses and turns these sharp eyes towards Lucia. That is impossible. My Henri is not engaged to anyone. And Lucia di Felici is safe at home with her family and the man she is due to marry.
I didn't really think past this statement.
With that in mind, I'm going to give you another drama die because I want to hear what's going on inside of Lucia's head.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna die. Oh god. I'm going to puke. That's what's going on through Lucia's head. Is mostly I'm going to puke. I have to say something. It has been too long that I have not said anything, and that seems more suspicious than not saying anything at all. But then if I start talking, the gap gets longer. We were engaged, and then we weren't, but we were in love, and so we chose to stay in love. I can prove I am me. We have done something incredibly foolish, I think. And Lucia starts is truly trying to explain herself in Montaigne, which is also giving her a pause. Do you speak Rodace?
She switches languages smoothly. Of course, I speak Rodace.
I understand the nature of what I am about to say and have said, but your son and I exchanged letters when we were first engaged, and I love him, and he loves me, and we plotted after the engagement was originally broken to see if perhaps we could marry in spite of that.
You see. That face is completely unreadable. And she turns to the two older men. Gentlemen, if you would excuse us. They both give kind of a brief bow. She gives a little curtsy, and then kind of turns and, without saying a word to any of you to follow, begins to leave the ballroom. Unfortunately for Heinrich, she turns and immediately faces him. Can I assume that Heinrich shifts to get out of the way?
That kind of depends on what she does. Does she pause when she sees him, or does she go full speed ahead and try and plow through him?
There is a split second of a pause when she sees you, but then she begins to walk forward like she assumes that you are going to move for her because she is the most important person in the room.
And let's see. Heinrich also could not understand that conversation in Dace.
It is worth noting that everybody around you moves when they see the look on her face.
Well, Heinrich is nothing if not polite, so he will take one step to the side to allow her to pass.
Excellent. Here I was wondering if the Izod was going to get into a game of chicken with the Grande Dame of Montaigne.
No, she is a lady, and it would be improper to be rude.
She breezes by you, head held high, chin up, haughty as ever. And leaves it up to the rest of you if you will follow. I will say at this point, Viviana, you may be dancing with Raoul, but I would say that the two of you have made it a point to keep an eye on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And things are on the move.
Viviana will give Raoul a look and then, sort of turn a Vodace side-eye towards the rest of the group because this looks interesting. And then she will say, well, it seems like perhaps we should head over there.
It seems perhaps you should go over there. If I go over there, things will go poorly. It's a Grande Dame that has no love for my family. However, and he makes this move kind of in the middle of the dance where he sweeps you very smoothly through the crowd. Like you managed to avoid 5 other couples like it was planned. And then takes you through a little spin at the end so that you end with one hand in his. He kisses your knuckles and bows to you. Thank you for the dance.
Thank you. Save me a drink and perhaps I will save you a massage.
As ever, my cup overfloweth.
Viviana will turn towards the rest of the group now and adopt sort of a very neutral expression. Just completely neutral. They're not cold, but very seemingly unaffected by whatever is about to be told to her.
All right. Are you going to fall in with someone specific, or are you just falling in at the back of the line with people?
Probably falling in with Alexander, looking towards Julieta, because I assume she looks like she's uncomfortable at the very least, or in some manner of distress.
Lucia?
Yes, terrified.
If she looks terrified, then I think what Viviana will do is she will actually fall in beside Julieta. Very casually, put her hand, on, her elbow, lean down and say, okay, I don't know what just happened, but you look like you're not breathing, so I need you to breathe.
Don't think I need to breathe any longer if she kills me first.
No one's dead yet. Let's move.
Alonso, Sylvia has taken this whole thing in and gives you a look. These are your friends?
Nothing if not exciting.
I see. Would you like to go with them? Because I will be honest, I cannot afford to get in trouble with her. And she points at the Grande Dame with her fan. I will be here when you come back.
Indeed. Loath though I am to depart your company, should I return, bit of a smile, intact, I will be happy to share a bit of gossip.
See that you do. On both counts. She gives you a saucy little smile and turns and heads in towards the crowd.
Next to Alexander.
In rapid Vodace, Alexander will say to Viviana across Lucia, we need to skip one shock when we get there. Francesca, please meet Lucia de Felici. Moving on.
Viviana looks perhaps a little bit too unsurprised by that revelation. She looks like her brows furrow a bit as she puts a name to the gossip that she heard earlier, but overall she doesn't look terribly surprised.
Am I the only one who didn't know?
Possibly.
Heinrich, are you falling in with your friends?
Yes, he is.
All right. The quiet and towering Ison joins the group. I am assuming that Lucia is at the front of the line following the Grande Dame because she is the reckless one, yes?
Yeah, I think if I haven't worked my way out of Alex's arm, I've certainly dragged him behind me.
Yeah, I imagine that you are making full steam, and Viviana and Alex are having to kind of squeeze between you and the groups that you are passing between to keep up.
I also got little legs, so I'm walking very fast.
You see the Grande Dame stop to talk to one of the clearly senior servants at the door, who nods a few times, face pretty stone-faced, and then kind of glances at the crowd of you, nods again, and turns. And he leads the way out into the hall, and then through a set of double doors that lead into another hallway that had been closed off to the guests. Waits for all of you to pass through, closes that door, and then leads the way to what looks to be like a study, like a private study, and opens the door, bows deeply to the Grande Dame as she enters. I will be just outside, madam. And she kind of gives him a dismissive wave with her fan as she moves inside and moves to perch on a couch. Or not on a couch, on a like a high-backed chair. And somehow, despite sitting down and literally having to look up at any of you as you're standing, even Lucia, as short as she is, somehow still seems to be looking down her nose at all of you. You say you can prove who you are, girl.
Yes. Oh, God. I would argue, I realized I didn't prep this with you. Can Lucia have a family ring? I know she has papers as well. She would have brought those.
I would say you've probably got like a necklace or a ring, yeah.
Lucia reaches into a pannier pocket and pulls out a letter that has been addressed to her from her collection. From Henri. It has his crest on it. No, it wouldn't. On the inside it would. And then her ring.
She takes both of them and begins to read. After a few minutes of reading, she looks up and in a little too bored and relaxed voice, calls out towards the door. Oh, what is his name? And as if waiting to be beckoned and realizing that the Grande Dame does not, realizing that the Grande Dame does not find a servant important enough to have learned the name of, the door opens and the man stands there. And she says, bring me one of my gods. And he nods and disappears. Would anybody like to take the offer of a drama die for a particularly juicy monologue? Anyone who is not Lucia?
I haven't monologued in this game yet, so I can.
Sure. Tell us what's going through Viviana's mind as she is standing in this room that feels incredibly tense. and a little bit like she is standing on a precipice.
Viviana's eyes are flicking back and forth between Lucia and the Grande Dame. And she's just thinking in her mind, like she's going over all of the different expressions that she has seen on the Grande Dame since they came into this room, since she fell in with the group and learned Giulietta's true name. She's trying to she's going over her years of courtesan training, just meant to discern, being taught how to discern subtleties and what things might mean, and trying to see if any of those faces she's learned about apply to this current situation, if there's any indication of what is coming, because she doesn't know exactly what's coming, and that is a bit scary. And when her eyes flick from the Grande Dame back to Lucia, she thinks to herself, this poor girl, because all Lucia wants is love, and that is such a pure, innocent thing to aspire to. It's a thing where if more people aspired to just love, well, you could say from perhaps a more naive perspective, well, wouldn't the world just be a better place? But it's so wholesome, what she wants and what she desires. Like, there's no, from the conversations that they've had, there's no hint of wanting something more than this, wanting more than to simply be with the man that she at least believes herself to be in love with. And that is truly pure and deserves to be protected. And even if it is naive, that's why she's here. That's why she decided to fall in with the group, even though it looked like things were about to get quite bad, and she wasn't necessarily trying to draw the most attention to herself in a way that could be perceived as negative. But Lucia deserves people standing beside her, even if it may not be the smartest decision.
I have Alonso thoughts as well.
Take a drama die.
Alonso, at his core, he is frustrated. He is frustrated by his inability to help. He is frustrated that so much tension can be in a room and no one is speaking. If it were him, if it were his people, we would be shouting. We would be on our feet, in each other's faces, speaking our feelings to the fullest. And this reservation is torture. More so, since the last time he was in that fight, that sort of a fight, it was deeply personal. And now, faced with a superior who refuses to engage, his blood is boiling.
I love that. While all of these thoughts are flickering through everybody's heads, the Grande Dame it has not taken her eyes off of Lucia. Sit.
Lucia, for a second, considers just sitting on the floor where she stands, and instead collapses into a chair. She's getting her brain back.
Now, tell me about this supposed love affair with my son, who you were not supposed to have been speaking to for many years.
I don't know how I couldn't. Betrothal is a strange thing because I did not expect to love him. I did not expect to like him very much, but he was thoughtful and kind, and I found I don't know. It just happened. I was 13, and my father told your family that I liked sunflowers and music, and he sent so many flowers to our courtyard that if you sat at the balcony, you could see the musical arrangement the certain flowers made based on color. And over the next years, we spent pages writing to each other about art and music and all of the things that I loved and he wanted to share with me. It didn't matter that the letters would get to me far after the plays were out of fashion, but he wanted to hear everything I thought of everything that I loved and hated. And he agreed or he disagreed, but we fought, and he cared about the things I had to say. But when the engagement was called off, and I wrote to tell him of everything, of the sortie and the and going to school, I had told him I was scared I was wicked, and he said that it didn't matter, and that if I was damned, he would be damned with me. And that I should not be ashamed of the things that Therese has given me, because, like my eyes or my smile, they were to be cherished. And it gave me the strength to leave and to come to Montaigne and to find you.
I see. As she says that, the door opens again, and a man in a man in what is clearly like a garb, like a guard's outfit, hurries in and over to her side, bows very, very deeply, and she says, "Travel to the donjon. You will take this letter," and she hands it to him, "to prisoner 24601, and have him verify its authenticity." And the guard nods. I'm not going to make anybody roll. Everybody can see a look of vague confusion on his face, but he nods. And turns to leave the room. The Grande Dame does, well, she does not. She is still holding on to your ring, but she has handed over the letter. There's a moment of quiet after the door closes and the guard leaves. I need everybody to roll me raw resolve. No advantages, no drama die, just raw resolve. I'm not going to give you a target number. I just want you to roll it. So Lucia has a 29. Alexander needs to roll another one. All right. So that's a 20 from Alexander. An 8 from Viviana. Woof. A 10 from Heinrich and a 10 from Alonso. Okay, well, that makes this question really easy. In the quiet that fills the room, Viviana, you... It is the strangest thing. You almost wouldn't have noticed it. In fact, you're pretty sure you only noticed it because of how quiet everything got after that door shut. There's like a song going in the back of your head. You have no idea what song it is. It's very pretty, though. And it's just sort of there at the back of your consciousness. You're pretty sure that if you were to try to, like, every time you try to actively think about it and focus on it, it's like it quiets down. You can't hear it anymore.
Viviana will think that is quite interesting. Her eyes, again, continuing to flick between the Grande Dame and Lucia. But occasionally, like, her eyes will wander off into, like, and so it looks like she's almost looking at something that isn't there as she attempts to focus on the song. And then as it slips from her grasp, she just goes back to looking between the two women again.
Yeah, weird. Maybe you heard it at, like, I don't know, when you were out in, like, the market or something, and you just really can't remember enough of it, but it... Huh.
Strange.
Very. The Grande Dame kind of takes all of you in, and her eyes linger on Heinrich.
Heinrich looks back at her.
And then she looks back at Lucia. You defy your father and the expectations of your family and keep in touch with a man who is no longer your betrothed. You flee from your home and find yourself in some interesting company.
In the list of things that you have described, you make it sound like that last one is the worst.
She says nothing. To that, anyway. A noted Osser, she kind of looks over Alonso, Castilian.
Barely suppressed vibrations.
A beautiful woman I can only assume is also from Vidace. And she looks over Viviana.
Viviana gives her a polite smile.
Carries herself like she is accustomed to dangerous and important people.
Same, just polite smile, neutral expression.
And you, a runaway Strega. That is what they call you, yes?
Yes.
Well, at least you were smart enough to come to Montaigne and not another country where they would have burned you at the stake.
Lucia also gives bombastic Vidachan side-eye to Alonso.
Rage.
You must understand, then, the scope of my love. That I would do all of this for your son.
Except that I do not believe my son would be so... She kind of pauses and looks for the right word.
Imitative? I mean, he is in this, in fact, copying the behavior of His Imperial Majesty, is he not? Who also is married himself to a fine Vodachan beauty.
In an arranged marriage, yes. My son would not so openly defy the wishes of his family.
Have you never read a love story?
My dear, I am from Montaigne. We are love stories.
Then you cannot imagine someone being so in love that they would defy their parents or others.
Not one of good breeding.
I think all of the love stories have those of good breeding succumbing to it.
After the Grande Dame said Strega, Viviana just casually stepped to, physically interpose herself between Alonso and Lucia.
Oh.
Alonso sidesteps to keep the conversation in view.
And what exactly did you think you were going to accomplish? Did you not think that my son has already been promised to another?
If he had been, he would have told me. As you can see, we've had extensive contact.
Well, based on the date of the letter that you just gave me, he sent it from in prison, so clearly he did not tell you everything.
No, but I was also betrothed, and it did not matter. I suppose it is foolish to have hung my hopes on the reputation of true Montagnans being familiar with love the way we are. I had thought you would encourage this.
Encourage a breaking of the rules in disrespect of the agreements made? No. This is not something that I encourage. But of course, this could all just be childish fancy. You could have been riding with a stable boy. We will know soon enough.
I think at the mention that she could be riding with a stable boy, Lucia starts, the biggest, wateriest anime tears start forming.
Alexander passes her his handkerchief.
And throughout all of this, Heinrich is just leaning on the wall, kind of scanning the room, looking at the doors, the windows, sort of keeping an eye out for any possible incoming danger.
Understood. I will say it was, and I'm sure Heinrich would know this, but I just want to make it clear, it was not a mistake that she did not list him in the mixed company. It was almost like she was pointedly ignoring the fact that he's here. Or has just decided he's not important enough to talk about.
Is there a way that a sincerity kind of role would help my cause?
I mean, it could do something. I can't promise it'll help.
Well, fuck.
Would you like to try?
I think so.
Target
Can we
number
get
15.
better?
Just missed it.
God fucking damn it.
You have drama dice.
I don't
And
know.
you
that
only
this-
need a 1.
I'll let it. hang. I'm not gonna waste it here.
Okay.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have to defend myself later.
Seeing the fat tears start to slip from Lucia's eyes, the Grande Dame looks almost disapproving for a moment and stands. You will wait here. I have others I need to talk to, and you will have time to get your companion under control. And she kind of glances at Lucia and then back at Alexander and then promptly turns to leave the room. The door opening almost of its own volition as the servant outside was clearly listening and knew that she was coming. And unless anybody stops her, you will be left alone in the room to talk for a few minutes. Yes? No?
Not stopping her.
No, I'm not going to stop her.
Incredibly tempting.
Heinrich?
Nope, I'm not going to stop her from leaving either.
Okay. Then she sweeps out of the room. And the door closes.
As soon as the door closes and the Grande Dame is out, Viviana goes to kneel in front of Lucia and just starts using her own handkerchief to dry her tears and salvage any makeup she's wearing. She goes about fixing her hair and dress, even if there's nothing wrong with it.
Viviana's instantly into mothering mode.
Immediately.
Alonso, maybe it is the fact that the Grande Dame has left the room. But it kind of maybe a little bit more firmly clicks. The Grande Dame leaves and some of the tension starts to ease from the room. And a lot of the information that got kind of dumped in the last few minutes kind of finally starts to catch up with you.
Mm-hmm.
There is at least one sorcerer in the room with you.
Seething. He's going to move to Alexander and give a little head jerk to "we should talk in the corner."
Ah, yes, no one will hear us over there.
Are you going to go to the corner? Or are you just going to sit there and make them talk out loud to everybody?
No, he'll stand up. He will look at everyone else's patience. We're waiting for Henri now. If nothing else, perhaps we'll get him an evening out of the cell. And we'll walk over to the corner of silence.
Alonso takes a moment to open his mouth, stretching a jaw that has been clenched hard for the last few minutes. Sir, what exactly have you engaged me in?
I have engaged you in acting as my bodyguard.
Do not be glib at this time.
I'm not being
Not
glib.
for my honor as a gentleman. Please. I will defend your life. If we are to speak again after tonight, I must know what is happening.
What events exactly are you confused about? Everything seems to have been fairly straightforward thus far.
She is a Strega?
Yes.
She is a different person?
Yes.
What other deceptions? And how are you in her company so calm? Or do you simply follow her tune?
She has has small calluses on her fingers that indicate she may play an instrument of some sort. But I haven't heard it yet, so I cannot say that I am dancing to anyone's tune at this time.
So to your knowledge, you are not enchanted.
You know, I come from a land where enchantment is actually fairly frequent. One of the unfortunate side effects is you are unaware you are enchanted until after the fact, most of the time. Otherwise, it wouldn't really work.
Well, certainly my confidence is boosted by that.
I am not here to boost your confidence. I am here to speak as honestly as I can to you so that you may trust what I'm saying.
And you are saying that you have enlisted me, and I will do my duty. And tell me this. Are we here upon the quest of true love that has been presented? Or are there further revelations to be had?
To the best of my knowledge, we are as revealed as I am aware. If other revelations are coming, I assure you they will come as a shock, as much of a shock to me as they will to you.
And do you believe, as a learned man, that additional revelations may in fact soon be upon us?
Absolutely, without question. Our jaws will be on the floor before the end of the evening. Of that I am certain.
I see. I see.
Get up now.
You see the fight in Alonso start to slip back. Like he has been, like he wanted to haul off this whole time and hit somebody. You see him. I see.
After all, Alonso Hernandez never turns away from adventure. At least, so the stories I have read say.
You get from that, he takes a seat, and as you say that, he looks up at you with...
I'm a widely read man, Senor Hernandez.
Mm-hmm. It is the deep, it is the, I know you are right, and it is frustrating me. Indeed. Indeed.
Peace be with you.
Indeed. Go. Attend to your friend.
Gracias.
I'm going to find water, I think.
Are you headed for the door?
Is there a pitcher of water in this room?
There is not. It is a private study that was not intended to be used during the party.
Then I think I'm going to walk up to the door, say, would it be beneath you, sir, to fetch us some water?
The door opens. A different servant is standing there, and he gives a little nod. We will have it brought.
Grazie.
And he shuts the door. Heinrich.
So we'll take a seat and observe what follows.
Heinrich.
Yes. While that conversation is going on, Heinrich is going to go sit down next to Lucia and Viviana, and he offers Lucia his hand and says, "Oh, now, dear, I would not worry. I think we've made quite a bit of progress, and this has gone as well as could be hoped. One way or the other, you will have resolution. I'm sure your love will confirm the authenticity of the letter, and we will be able to move this in the direction that you desire.
Viviana cups Lucia's face again, wipes away any tears that may be falling. My darling girl, you were so brave to do this.
If any of you wanted to leave now, I understand that I have perhaps signed some sort of fate here. You do not have to tie yourselves to me beyond this.
No, of course not. We're here with you, and we will help you see this to the end. But you, as I said, you forced this into a confrontation, and I expect things will happen very soon.
I don't know what came over me. I should have invited her out of the room first, at least.
Sometimes the direct approach is best.
It seems very Eisen of you.
Well, we're not a nation known for our subtlety, but you've done what you've needed to do. We could have spent weeks dancing around this, but I believe you've done this quite admirably. We've very soon she'll confirm that that his feelings towards you, and we'll know what we need to do next. So I would not. You should not be sad over this outcome. This is what I believe. This is what you desired.
Thank you. Dottore, you've read the letters.
I have.
They could not have been written by a stable boy, right?
GM, what is my assessment of the education level of Henri based on the writing?
Whoever wrote it had to have been very well educated.
Okay.
But not everybody who is well educated is necessarily noble.
That's true.
It's just more likely.
I can say that if they were written by a stable boy, he was one of the most finely educated stable boys in all of Thea, and probably a good catch nonetheless. But no, I don't think it was a stable boy.
I had perhaps taken the crest for granted, but I just know it's not. I know it's not just a stable boy. It can't be anyone else.
And even if it was, does it honestly matter? You're in love with the man who wrote those letters. If it turns out to be that it in fact was a stable boy, will you stop loving him?
No, but it does pose a few other problems.
Yes, it does.
Primarily that I would not know how to find him then. And I do not know that if he was a stable boy, it would be as compelling a reason not to murder him for anyone else who was displeased by what I have done.
I think that would be a relationship built on deception. A hard thing to maintain.
Viviana looks up at Alonso with just You have never seen Viviana look in any way other than like an expression that accentuates the beauty on her face. This is a withering glare.
Accepted.
In my defense, Alonso, you did not ask.
It is not a great defense.
I know.
But
what
I
could
am-
you have done?
What could I... We will never know. We will never know. What we do know is that I am sworn to Alexander, and he is bound to you. Until further notice, I am effectively in your service.
And we do know as well that you have never been a woman from Vodache, Alonso.
Do we know that? Just asking.
Alonso,
I would prefer if we resolve this matter effectively and discuss it elsewhere.
Alonso, Giovanni Villanova beat his wife so hard that she refuses to be seen in public. His children are no different. Can you say that after being presented the love of your life, having that replaced by someone like that is worth staying and finding out? Or being proper?
Your flight from your country was... I approve. Your pursuit of love, I approve wholeheartedly. What I cannot yet approve of cannot yet accept is beyond your control.
It seems unfair that I was not I'm being punished for things I cannot control. And the one time I do something that I can control, I'm going to be punished for that as well.
Well, you don't know that yet.
I would again remind you that of all your potential enemies in this building, I am not one. Direct your efforts to the matter at hand.
The coin is still in the air. Has not landed yet. But it's Montaigne, so it may take a while for it to land.
Do you
Well,
think she's actually going to get him?
We shall see.
I do think that guard will do as he was told.
In this moment of silence, Heinrich,
Yes.
your thoughts are on Lucia and her predicament and her displays of emotion, which are not something you commonly see where you come from, but maybe a little bit remind you of your girls.
Very much so.
And as people around you kind of lapse into silence and your thoughts turn to that, and what would you want to do if your eldest, for instance, betrayed all of the, or defied all of the expectations and rules set for her and decided that she was going to go off and do what she wanted to do with her life and hang the consequences the way Lucia has. As you are thinking on that, there's a little tune that has kind of settled itself into your subconscious. It's pleasant and quiet, but there. Constant and ever present. But as soon as you go to focus on it, it slips away from you. Goes quiet.
Too much wine, probably.
And then back to thinking about your girls. It is around this time. It's been about... Goodness, you all start to lose track of the time. You lapse into bits of silence. Maybe occasionally have a quiet conversation about this or that. You're just waiting. Water and wine are both brought, as is a small selection of like things to snack on. But no one invites you to leave the room. And if does anybody at any point try to leave on their own?
No.
Yes.
Alonso tries to leave.
Mm-hmm.
When you attempt to leave, there are guards outside of the door who make it very clear that you are expected to stay put while the Grande Dame gets to the bottom of whatever it is that's going on.
You don't think she would have him killed for this, right?
Quite unlikely. She is his son, after all. And how many guards and what are they armed with?
What you can see is that there are 2 musketeers outside the door. And they are armed with...
One would presume muskets.
Yes, and swords.
So leaving is an option. Just gonna cause some trouble if we do.
One would suspect a lot of trouble, yes.
Indeed. Alonso will wait. Although I think he and Heinrich take a look at these guys, and as the door closes, there's like eye contact. It's an option.
It is.
Yes, and then you could ask Henri whether or not he sent those letters yourselves, as you will join him in the dungeon.
I'm sorry, Heinrich, what were you trying to say?
I was just agreeing with Alonso. I said, yes, it is an option. Not our preferred option, however.
Viviana, upon hearing this, goes and places like a very gentle hand on Heinrich's shoulder and then looks at Alonso with a far more gentle expression and says, Alonso, be a good boy.
At your service, ma'am.
Good boy.
It is an hour, nearly an hour and a half later, that...
There has been wine.
Oh yeah, there is water and wine and food.
Oh, so much wine.
Nearly an hour and a half later, that the door, so that you all hear a commotion outside the door. And then the door is thrown open and the Grande Dame is there in a sort of, like, she's not even trying to hide the way that she feels. She is furious. Her fan is closed and she points it at Lucia. Where is he? What did you do? And you can see that there are a great number more guards behind her than before.
Thank you for listening to Opus de Requiem. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to subscribe and review wherever you're listening to our podcast. You can find more of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible.
You are sitting in this chair on, I don't know how many cups of wine in you are, but probably a fair few, and staring at a livid Grande Dame, who is, she has her fan in one hand pointed at you like an accusing finger, and her other hand has your letter, but it is balled up in her fist.
Oh no, my letter.
And maybe as you think that about the letter, you realize that you still don't have your ring back either.
I don't know what you're speaking of.
Do not play stupid with me, girl.
Your Grace, I beg your pardon.
Viviana steps in front of Lucia, just attempts to pulls Lucia to her, into her side, and waits for Alexander to continue, but is very much looking to chime in.
Okay.
Alonso is going to step shoulder to shoulder with Viviana.
When this young lady came to you tonight with her story, you demanded proof. I think at this point, turnabout is fair play, don't you?
What are you talking about?
You have a single scrap of evidence that this young woman who has spent the last 90 minutes sitting here telling you about all of this has anything to do with your missing son?
I know that no one who works in that prison knew who he was. Only his prisoner number, not even his name. And the only person who has come to me with any questions about him, or looking for him, or trying to influence getting to him is right in front of me.
Yes, and came to you and asked about his condition, where he was. That would seem to indicate she didn't know, or even if she did, hadn't done anything about it, because why on earth would she then come to you?
Madame, you are a woman of great intelligence. Surely you must know how stupid it would be for us to wait in this room for you to come here with your hordes of musketeers if Lucia or we had something to do with Henri's disappearance. It would have also been incredibly stupid for us to approach you in the first place.
What thief asks for what they've already taken?
I would like anybody who has it and has spoken, so the three of you, to write either, or to roll either oratory or sincerity. Given your approaches, I'm going to say Alexander is wits, Viviana resolve, and Alonso, also wits. Target number 20, because you were trying to get past how very visibly angry she is. Oh,
that's it.
Alexander, you were one shy, my guy.
Good thing I have 3 drama dice.
I know. That is wild. All right, Viviana made hers, Alexander made his, Alonso made his. All right. The first thing that becomes very clear, she is not thrilled with the way that Alexander is speaking to her. The second thing that becomes clear is that might be a good thing in the long run for Lucia, because now she's almost as mad as Alexander as she was at Lucia. The other thing that becomes very clear is that she is one of those people who is usually very, very level-headed and clear thinking. And speaking some sense to her has stopped her forward charge, so to speak. Like she hasn't made any movements to sick the musketeers or any guards on you. She hasn't what do you call it? She's not ranting and raving anymore. She still doesn't look okay. And she's still upset. But she's not necessarily on the verge of throwing you all into the dungeon yourselves. Yet.
I am confused. What do you mean he's gone? Where is he?
I don't know. I had him put in there for his own good, to save his life, and I come and find out that... And she flicks her fan open aggressively and fans herself. And then you show up and you start asking all these questions. Looking for him. And I send someone to get confirmation that he is the one who wrote these silly words. And my god comes back and tells me that he is not there. That he has not been there.
And when was the last time he was there?
I don't know. And she's getting mad again, but it's not at you guys. It's clearly at the situation because she is pacing. And I think specifically for Heinrich, having been in the military, you can see, despite the big froofy dress and the huge hair and the pounds of makeup, you can see the woman who used to lead a fighting force. Her shoulders are very square. Her back is very straight, despite her age. She still moves with the kind of grace and surety of somebody who could get into and out of most fights without a problem. She doesn't look aggressive at any of you. This is just you're a fighting man. You have that way of measuring people, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And she is clearly very upset. Very well. You say that you are not a part of this?
I don't know how I could be.
Any of you? And her eyes kind of scan the room.
Categorically,
No.
Your Grace.
No.
Shakes head.
Nor I.
Then I will task you with something. If you do not wish to end up with your own prisoner numbers. While I look into all of this.
We are at your service.
You all will find out how my son got loose and when, and where he has ended up. With the celebrations in town, I cannot ask for a large force for more than a few moments. She looks at the men behind her, and it's not a huge force. It's certainly more musketeers in one place than you would expect without there being an outright fight already. Like she was prepared for a fight. I cannot requisition them or have their captain put them on the job with the celebrations in the city. Not if we want Charus to be safe and for the Emperor's birthday to go smoothly. So you all will take over the task of finding out what happened.
Heinrich glances over at Lucia and says, "Is this acceptable to you? I presume you would be looking for him anyway?"
I would be looking regardless, so yes.
Very well, then I shall assist you.
She looks at everybody else.
Of course I will help.
I would be only too delighted to assist Signorina Farisci.
Madame, you said that he had been writing to me from prison.
If the date on your letter is correct.
How long ago did you send him?
She thinks about it months ago.
And for his protection.
Yes.
What happened?
She draws a deep breath at her shoulders square again. Leave us. And the musketeers all, as one, turn and leave the room and lock the door behind them. Well, not lock the door, shut the door. Sorry, shut the door behind them. And she moves back to that high back chair that she was in before and sits down like a queen on her throne. My son was reckless with his words, and in Montaigne that is something that can get you killed. Publicly.
What did he say?
They are not words I would utter in front of anyone, let alone strangers. Needless to say, they are things that would have him made an example of. Should the wrong words hear them.
Were you planning on releasing him anytime soon?
I told him that he would be out when he had acknowledged his wrongdoings and could assure me that they would never happen again. But my son is stubborn. Always has been.
I know.
Her eyes narrow at you.
Immediately shrinks back.
And I presume these things that he said were of a revolutionary nature and that he's been keeping with some uncouth company.
She pauses at that. Do you know something about revolutionaries?
No, I'm afraid that I've heard nothing more than rumors of discontent since I arrived in the capital. But I also heard rumors that this was his offense and why he had been consigned to the dungeon.
He spoke ill of the Emperor.
Oh.
Yes, the foolishness and zeal of youth.
Indeed. I sent him to the donjon because had I not, and the Emperor found out, or someone who considered him or my family enemies, then the Emperor would have had him hung.
So there is love in Montaigne. Good.
Her eyes narrow again. If you have something to say, then say it, Castian.
You have protected your family. This is most honorable. It seems, however, that rumors have spread. It is known.
Rumors always do. What can be proven and what are simply rumors that can be protected against. It's very different here.
But your enemies have acted on a rumor?
Possibly. I don't know. All I know is that my son is gone.
Quite so.
Would, in pursuit of finding your son, would we be able to see where he has left?
Do you wish to seize the donjon?
Yes.
It is not a place for ladies.
Then I will send the gentleman.
She sort of draws a deep breath. If you wish to see it, I will ensure that you have access. But I am warning you, it will not be a pleasant place. And she tilts her head. May be difficult for a lady with so little life experience to experience.
I have not come this far not to gain more life experience, Madame.
But perhaps a review of the young man's possessions would be more in your line of understanding. You may see something that another might not. Some clue as to who might know his whereabouts?
Perhaps we could also check his chambers.
Madame,
Yes.
would you also be able to provide us with a description of what your son looks like? Pardon me, but I am not familiar.
She looks at Lucia. Do you not have the painting you were sent?
I have the miniature. We were 13.
I suppose this is true.
Lucia, there was a painting. It was large, and I don't know that was going to go with her either.
That was definitely not going to make it with her, no.
But there's like a miniature, like Lucia has. It is locket-sized, so it's tiny.
I will arrange a time for you to come to my home to look at the portraits of my son.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
I am sorry for ruining your night.
Yes, this was not the most ideal of places to bring this to me. But it is done.
Thank you for this. And Lucia sort of gestures lamely at the space.
Better here than a cell. Is there any other questions, or would you like to get back to the party? Or get on with the search? Though I'm not sure what you can accomplish this late in the evening.
Nothing further, Your Grace.
We could look at his chambers this evening. Everyone else is at the party.
I will not be there, and I do not know you. You will be there when I am at my home.
Of course.
Perhaps now would be a good time to go home and prepare for the search. Viviana casts a side eye at Lucia.
Yes. I do not think I can go back out there.
She nods because she asked if anybody else needed anything, and nobody else said anything, so she's getting up and headed for the door. I have to return to the party. There are appearances to keep up, and my absence has already been noted.
Viviana. Oh, go ahead.
Heinrich bows appropriately and says, "Milady, I look forward to speaking to you again."
She pauses and glances at you and then leaves the room.
Alonso also bows.
Viviana curtsies.
Viviana curtsying drags Lucia into a curtsy.
But she leaves the room and you all are left alone for a moment.
Lucia,
Again.
may I speak with you? Lucia, may I speak with you in the corner of silence?
Lucia sort of wanders over to the corner and like sinks down onto the floor and sort of like just lays on her side.
Viviana sits down beside her, sort of pulls Lucia so that she's like half laying on her lap, and she just like very like strokes her hair and hums a Vodachan lullaby for just like a brief period of time.
What is everybody else doing?
Well, now that the apparent danger is past, Heinrich will help himself to a glass of the wine and continue to observe.
Alonso.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was going to say, I have promised a beautiful young woman that I would return to the dance floor with some level of news, and I would be no gentleman if I left her questions unanswered. How much should I say? Exact, that's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
I leave that to your sense of discretion and honor, sir.
I would suggest as little as possible.
But I shall accompany you. So I secured us these invitations with the promise of being a witty conversationalist and good guest. I must.
Indeed.
You have done no such thing. You have said the truth as you see it. You have defended yourself. You have spoken your mind and heart directly. You have nothing to apologize for, Signorina. Not a thing. Certainly not to me.
Nor I.
Well, thank you.
Alonso tips his hat and heads back out into the party.
Alexander follows.
And Heinrich steps out of the room and closes the door behind them to give them their privacy, but will wait out in the hallway.
Okay. Lucia,
Yes.
roll me raw resolve, please.
25.
Not bad.
I refuse to hear this music.
Who said that has to do with anything?
I know. I'm just guessing.
Okay. In the room, is there anything that you guys are going to talk about, or are you just going to take a few minutes to let Lucia get her shit together and then leave?
Oh, Viviana has some things to talk about.
All
Oh,
right.
shit.
Take it away, Viviana, then.
Viviana will sort of subtly, end her humming and say, Lucia, you have been very brave in disclosing your truth to not just the rest of us, but to the Grande Dame. And so I will pay that forward.
How so?
My name is not Francesca Lombardi.
Is it not?
No, it is Viviana Lucani.
And Lucani. Thank you for telling me. Are you also running away from Villanovas?
Well, aren't we all? But I left Vodace because I wanted a break from the great game. And it is funny that I have ended up in this situation. But there is something else. In regards to finding Henri, I would like you to accompany me to where I am staying tonight.
I can do that.
Good. I may be able to offer some insight, but it would be foolish to do so here.
I do not think I want to go back to the party if you are willing to leave early.
That is fine. We can leave. We must both bid Raoul goodbye, or, well, if you are not feeling up to seeing him, I must bid him a brief goodbye. But then we can leave.
I forgot about Raoul.
That is understandable.
Well, I am here for truly one reason, and so yes, let's try to leave, and we will say goodbye to Raoul first.
Okay. Viviana will help Lucia to her feet, once again go about straightening out her dress, her makeup, her hair, and then take her hand and lead her out of the room.
You know, my mama used to say that If you do not play the great game plays you. I do not think there are breaks.
Yes, you're right. The great game will always find us. It is in our blood. Viviana gives Lucia a humorless smile.
Yeah, we'll head back to the party.
Back to the party, or are you leaving? I'm confused.
We have to say goodbye to Raul.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Alexander and Alonso went back to the party already. Heinrich was waiting outside. So Heinrich, the door opens and the ladies step out. But rather than leading the way towards the front of the house to leave, they're headed back towards the party. Are you going to join them?
Yes.
Okay.
And he'll ask, is everything well?
As well as can be expected.
We are going to say goodnight to my escort, and then we are going to go.
Very well. If you'll permit it, I would, for purposes of safety, I would like to accompany the two of you to your domiciles.
I will be staying with Francesca tonight.
But you may accompany us.
I would feel better.
A true gentleman.
Very well then. Let us depart.
Well, first we must find Raul.
I'm sure he's quite intoxicated by now. But yes, it would be rude to leave without saying goodbye.
All right. We're gonna pause that and pivot over to the boys. Alonso and Alexander. You are both able to get back to the party well before everybody else does. What you doing?
Forgive me, Sir Doctor. I have a date to keep.
You do. Please enjoy yourself.
Indeed. If I can be of service, well, I imagine I shall be aware of it.
I am certain you will be. But take joy where you can. By all means.
He nods. Takes a minute. Seems to concentrate, being a little overwhelmed. And then forges across the floor to find Sylvia.
Right. You find Sylvia talking with a couple of other young ladies. They are doing that thing where they talk to each other from behind their fans, but they're not like whispering at each other. The fans are just always going in front of their mouths. And watching the dance floor and the people there. You get the feeling, having seen some of the women in your homeland, that this is basically just the Montaigne version of like, they're gossiping.
Mm-hmm.
And when she sees you, she lowers her fan a little and gives you a smile and looks at the others. Ladies, my dance partner has returned. And they both look at you.
Pleasant evening to all. I'm... indeed. My name is Alonso. I have promised this beautiful woman a fair bit of gossip her own. Unless she wishes to share now.
Never. And she slides her hand into your elbow. Take me for a walk. Tell me what you know. She gives them like an impish little smile and lets you lead her away.
Cool. Does the party go out into the grounds, or is this purely indoor ballroom?
Yes, the ballroom has doors that open up onto a massive, sprawling garden. Well, I say massive, as big as it can be in a city.
Thank Theas for some fresh fucking air. Yeah, he steps outside. Oh. Forgive me, I am not yet practiced in the montane art of a guarded disposition. I'm sure you find me quite disconcerted.
Contrary, I find you refreshing. I don't have to guess.
I'm glad to hear it. For I have made many a guess, and I have been wrong many times this evening. First, I would ask of you. You said you knew the Duchess only a little, had met her once. What do you know of her affairs regarding the mentioned son?
Not very much. As I said, I don't know her very well, and she keeps her secrets.
Indeed. It would seem the boy has been close under her eye of late.
This is not surprising.
Indeed. She does not strike me as a woman who allows rebellion in her presence. Even the petty sort among family.
No, indeed. My, the reputation that she has garnered is that she is, very, let's say, focused on her family's reputation and well-being.
She strikes me as a woman of strongest iron.
Well, she would have to be. She was, I believe, the first woman to ever, certainly the first woman to have led the Musketeers, and I'm not sure if there have been any others who were members at the time that she became one.
Truly.
I said I'm not sure. The history is not always my strongest suit, but I think if she was not the first, she was one of the first.
Certainly the first to reach that level of a reputation.
Yes. And then when she stopped being a musketeer, she returned to her family and
proceeded to command.
Has headed the family as well as she did that.
Indeed. She seems to care a great deal for their well-being. It is good to know that such familial affection blossoms. Here, I am not so familiar with the Montaigne family, or indeed the Montaigne romance.
Montaigne romances are a varied sort. We marry for love as often as we marry. We marry for duty more often than we marry for love. But that does not mean that romance is unknown to us. This is, after all, where all of the great romance stories come from.
So I have heard. If I may, do you have a duty? Or perhaps a love?
No. I have not been promised.
Surely you just.
I have not been promised to anyone, nor would I allow myself to be.
Mm.
I will choose someone when I find the right one.
That is, I see a beauty in that, all its own. A fire not unfamiliar.
Oh?
Indeed. I have made my own choice. I have come from my homeland with the clothes on my back, the blade at my side, to be who I am meant to be. You determine your own destiny. It is familiar.
In a way, I suppose.
Forgive
Though I
me,
have not struck out on my own with a sword. And I'm hardly on my own. I'm just being given the room to pick who I will end up with, as long as I make a appropriately statused choice.
Well, then allow me to return to the drama at hand. What would be your opinion of a fellow Montaigne who made a choice not their duty, in perhaps defiance of status?
I think that would depend on the situation. And how well they carried it off.
Indeed, the second part I cannot yet speak to. But the circumstances are those of true love.
I think that true love is a wonderful idea. I'm not convinced that it is real.
This is a question oft discussed where I come from.
If true love is real, I have yet to have experienced it.
I shall not take that as a wound.
Well, I just met you.
Indeed. Indeed. The lady with whom I travel, she has come far in search of love. She has traveled, I believe, under some risk. And though I hesitate, I cannot help but respect her.
I see. What makes you hesitate if you respect her, then?
Give sort of a knowing look. The Dolce.
There are a great many things about Vodace that should give someone pause.
Exactly. And yet, I believe I shall continue to aid her in her quest. For if one cannot fight for love, what possible thing could be worthy?
I think there are a great many people who would say that there are a great many things that are worth fighting for. Duty, honor, the right thing.
Indeed.
If you talk to the Ison, they think anything money is worth fighting for.
Indeed. But I am not an Ison. Where I come from, a fight for love, there is a purity to it. There is a rightness in and of itself. And certainly other things are worth fighting for, but I would put the question to any who claims to be a man of honor as to whether he puts love among those things he would fight for.
I think with that, we will pivot to Alexander. What are you doing with your time once Alonso parts ways and wanders off with the beautiful Sylvia?
He is doing as he was bid and as he promised. He is trying to be as charming a guest as he can be.
Anyone in particular you are trying to be charming with?
Not at the moment.
Okay, why don't we...
Just trying to make the best impression. Just trying to make the best impression I can.
Why don't you give me a panache and oratory roll?
Okay.
We'll start it. I will give you... So we'll start at TN 15, but I'm going to give you a free raise because of your reputation. Okay. And for every raise you give above that, you will draw in more and more people. And we'll see how well you do.
TN 15, one free raise. I will take 3 raises. 49.
And what were you aiming for?
30.
Okay.
So 3 raises plus my free raise, so 4 raises in total.
Okay. You end up with a crowd of about...
So before you get that number, may I spend then that free raise to ensure that La Grande Dame is aware of just how popular I am?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You end up with a fairly sizable group of people around you. There is everything from funny stories about your time in different courts as you have traveled, about the silliness that certain academics can get up to when they think that they're on the verge of discovering something and are willing to just do anything to get like the book or the artifact or, you know, the scrap of paper that a rumor from a rumor, you know, led them to believe was there. What is your most uproarious story of the night?
It is a rather long story that does involve a variety of mechanical devices blasting me and my friend with steam until we both looked like we were well-cooked lobster. But it finishes with, yes, I understand that, Robert, but what was the steam pressure?
You get a lot of laughter, even some claps, and in the middle of it, as you are chatting with people and kind of like the come down from the big long story, a glance over somebody's shoulder shows La Grande Dame in the middle of her own little court that she is holding with primarily older courtiers, people closer to her age, or people who, you know, probably want something, you know, or just to be seen and known to be in her presence, has certainly glancing back over at you. And you realize as you were telling one of the early stories, you actually saw that Raoul was there and was listening, but he very quickly gets distracted as Lucia and Viviana walk into the room, and kind of wanders off, and you don't really see him much after that. Pivoting back to Lucia, Viviana, and Heinrich, what are the three of you doing?
Finding Raoul.
Go ahead.
And getting out of here.
When you guys walked in, you saw Alexander in the middle of this group of people, and Raoul was there, kind of on the outer band of the circle, listening to the story, looking amused with... You don't know how many glasses of wine in he is, but he has a glass of wine in his hand, and does not seem to be shy about taking drinks from it. When he sees the two of you, though, he breaks off and makes his way over. Good evening. You were gone for a while.
I'm afraid I have come down with something and do not feel well.
Oh, that is a pity. Here, I wished to spin you around the floor.
Between the pressure earlier that they just got out of and just feeling pent up, Lucia really does look sick.
Poor thing, you will have to go home. You will send a message to my family's home in the morning. If you don't feel well, we will have one of our people will come look in, make sure that you are all right.
Of course. Thank you for everything.
I will, no need to thank me. You being dressed like that and on my arm was thanks enough.
Lucia blushes. You could come with us, but I do not want to take you from the party.
If you would like to, I can. Or I can stay here and keep an eye on your friends.
That may be safer, actually. And Lucia looks at both Alonso and Alexander like, they should be okay.
And Raoul, my friend, I will, for their safety, I will accompany the two of them to their homes.
Good man. But in that case, ladies, and he takes both of your hands, lifts them so that he can kiss your knuckles. I bid you adieu. Be safe, feel better, and as I said, send word if you do not. I will make sure that a doctor sees you.
I will see you sometime in the future. Don't think I have forgotten about our deal.
I would not dream of it.
Adieu, Monso.
Let me walk you to the door. And he will hold out an elbow for each of you.
Viviana takes the elbow.
I'll take the other one.
And he will, with all of the grace and peacockery that you can imagine a Montaigne nobleman to have, sweep you both out of the ballroom and through the house toward the front door. Heinrich.
I accompany them, and have one of the servants at the bring my carriage around.
Yes. Was there anything else you wanted to do? Anything you wanted to say, or someone you wanted to talk about before you have to go?
At the party, no.
Alrighty. I'm going to assume that means that there is something you want to say once you were in the carriage.
Possibly.
All right. The carriage is brought around relatively quickly. Raoul walks with the three of you over to the carriage and hands both of the ladies up into it before stepping back to let Heinrich in, and watches you all rattle out of the yard before turning to walk back inside. You all are alone in the carriage. What's going on, guys?
So I strongly suspect that another Montaigne noble assisted your young man in escaping from the dungeon. It's quite common knowledge that many of them have the ability to, shall we say, move in and out of places.
How do you mean?
Well, something that I observed a number of times. It's their particular brand of sorcery allows them to move rapidly from place to place without passing through the distance in between, shall we say?
You think a sorcerer helped Henri escape?
Well, I can see of only two ways for him to escape from the cell with no one being aware. The first would be an extremely large bribe, and the second would be sorcery. And I would say sorcery would be the more likely of the two.
No.
Yes, Madame's guards seemed quite loyal to her.
Well, then perhaps he has allies in whatever he is doing.
Quite likely, perhaps some noble who is less than fond of the emperor, or perhaps some enemy of his family.
Lucia jumps up really fast and hits the side of the carriage. We have to stop.
Pardon?
The letter, and my ring, they're both missing. Or I did not get them back.
That's unfortunate.
Can one
Wait.
open a carriage from the inside on their own? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucia starts clambering out of the carriage again.
The carriage is still moving.
Oh, I know.
Lucia, wait for the carriage to stop.
Heinrich, are you going to tell the driver to stop?
Yes. Yes, I do. I open up the window and I tell him, stop.
The carriage rapidly pulls to a stop, especially as the door is being opened and a young woman is scrambling out of it.
Oh, God. Yeah, peak Cinderella. Lucia's running back the other way.
You are blocks away from the party at this point.
I know. Lucia's dumb.
Wait. Stop, please. We will.
Lucia, we
get
can
my
take
ring
Go back.
we can take the carriage back.
It can turn around.
Yeah, sure. Lucia will wait for them to turn the carriage
There's
around.
quite a lot of confusion for a few minutes as the footman jumps down and is trying to run after Lucia while the driver is just trying to figure out how to turn around the carriage in this in the middle of the road, which is a little bit more crowded than usual because there's probably carriages lining the street to get to various parties and whatever.
Truly. If it takes more than 5 minutes, Lucia will start walking back.
It absolutely takes more than 5 minutes, and the footman is chasing you. Madame, please stop!
Yeah.
You'll get hurt.
Yeah, shoes off, running back to the party.
Oh my god. Well, the footman is living up to his title because he has to stop to pick up your shoes. Because those are probably worth more than he makes in a year.
Oh, 100%.
Heinrich turns back to the driver. Catch up when you can. We'll need transportation from the mansion again, and then Heinrich, with much longer legs, will run after her.
Viviana, are you also running after her? Or are you staying with the car with the carriage?
Viviana is also running after Lucia because she has to. She has to make sure that she's all right, even though she takes her shoes off in the street, and she's just this girl, and begins running after her.
And because I think that this shit is hilarious, I'm going to give both of you a drama die for following after the crazy girl. Because frankly, had you not done it, I was going to give you drama die to make you do it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I had no choice in the matter.
Loyalty and rash. Make the awful choice. Do it.
Just for doing this.
All right. Well, you guys are going to be running for a little bit because you were blocks away from the party before Lucia remembered.
I mean, can I roll finesse to see how fast I can run?
No, you are in a dress. You don't get to run. It's just going to take you a little while.
Ooh.
You'll make it. Hey, I could make you roll fucking brawn to see if you can handle carrying all that weight and run all that way.
We're good. I'll make it.
Okay, that's what I thought. Amazing. Back at the party, Alonso and Sylvia are just returning inside. Sylvia wants to dance. And are just starting to move out onto the dance floor to join one of the big group dances that's going on when there is a, shall we say, commotion at the door of the ballroom. Lucia, you're going to take a drama die because I'm not going to let you weasel out of this and try to be smart about it now. As Lucia bursts back into the ballroom, barefoot and somewhat bedraggled, having run through several blocks of city streets in this long-ass dress. The dress is obviously dirty at the bottom now. You are running. You have to lift up the dress to run in it, sweetheart. You're not showing off like ankle or anything, but they could definitely peek your toes while you are running.
For free, even.
Yes, be merciful.
Her hair is half fallen out of its pins. And she is wide-eyed and breathless and just comes charging into the room. And that is what Alonso and Alexander and Raul all see happening.
He was physically closest.
Ooh, I would like both of you to roll a single d10. Let's see.
Heinrich is going to have to carry me from this party.
I see an 8 from Alexander.
Oh, wrong channel. I hit a 7.
All right, Alexander, you are closest.
Lucia will run up to him, actually, and just and explain to him, Madame Lorraine still has my ring. And my letter.
I see. I'll fetch it then.
The group of people around you is staring.
And we communicate in easy vivaces, and some of them will know what we're talking about. Some of them won't. I will fetch it then. If you will wait at the door, I will bring it to you.
Please hurry.
Of course. Pardon, Madame and Monsieur. I am called to fetch a piece of jewelry for a somewhat bedraggled young woman.
Make me a wits and etiquette roll, please. Target number 20.
There it goes. 29.
All right. There is a pause, and you're not positive, but it almost looks like she might have simply, like, in the heat of everything, forgotten that she had it in her hand. But she will reach into one of the little pockets tucked into her skirt, and will produce the ring and hand it back.
Merci beaucoup, Your Grace. I will turn back to my my audience and go, don't look at me like that. As though this was the first time a woman came dashing into one of your balls demanding a ring. And I give them a wink.
And there is a font of laughter at that.
And then I go to the door.
And the letter.
Ah, yes.
Are you really going to go back and ask for another thing, interrupt again?
Yes, I am.
Oh my god.
Your Grace, I beg your pardon. The letter as well.
That makes her look annoyed. Not so much at the asking for the letter, but interrupting in the middle of a conversation again. You are starting to get the feeling that it doesn't matter how liked you are, you're pressing on her nerve.
Yep. You know what? I don't mind.
And her opposite hand disappears into another pocket and produces a crumpled up, it looks like it was probably to her it was a piece of garbage that was probably eventually going to be discarded. She just tucked it away because she didn't really have anything to do with it. And she will hand it back. Will that be quite all?
Oh, I imagine we shall speak again, but probably not tonight.
Looking forward to it. Mr. Hutcheson.
Dr. Hutcheson, Your Grace. Bonsoir.
Alexander.
Yep.
Please take a rank 1 enemy.
Sure.
And know that number can and will go up if you continue to push.
Okay.
Back to the door.
He goes to the door. He takes the time as he's walking to try and flatten out the letter a little bit. And then he will present both to Lucia.
Mille grazie.
Pay it no mind. Please get yourself home and get some rest.
She looks mad at you.
Did I do something wrong?
I do not know.
Oh, you mean her?
Yes.
Yes, I don't care.
Well, enjoy the party. Francesca thinks that there is something she needed to do to locate Henri.
Oh, splendid. Splendid.
We will see you at the university, I think.
Presuming I am not in the docks myself, indeed.
And yeah, Lucia will let him go back to the party.
Goodness. Alonso, what were you and Sylvia doing during all of that? Were you watching? Did you go out and dance? Both?
Both.
Sylvia is certainly watching. The whole time.
I do think Alonso says that. She comes in the door, shoeless, and, coming apart. And he's like, yes, have mercy.
Sylvia's eyebrows go up. Your friend who you are willing to fight for?
One does not always pick one's friends.
No one's battles, it would seem. She lost her battles with her shoes.
Indeed. In truth. And at this point, I take her hand and start to move towards the dance floor. Her battle with her shoes may lead me to another battle, for if she is spoken ill of, I will be bound to defend her.
That would be interesting to watch.
I promise to be entertaining before I win.
I can think of a great many things you could do to be entertaining that do not require that sword to be unsheathed.
No. But I am so good with my sword. I cannot keep it away forever.
As I said, that sword.
And then we dance.
Yes. Heinrich and Viviana, you caught up to Lucia probably after she returned to the door after telling Alexander about the ring and the letter. So you got to watch everything unfold as Alexander went over to the Grande Dame, got the ring, went back, got the letter, and just the disruption that was caused. But Lucia has her letter and her ring now.
Heinrich looks down at her with what I guess could be best described as disappointed dad face.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
And says, "Young lady, please do not do that again. That was extraordinarily foolish. You could have been hurt."
I hesitate to think what would have happened if I did not get my ring back.
Well,
Viviana stands beside Heinrich, crosses her arms, radiates disappointed mom energy, and just begins quietly scolding Lucia in Vodachan, saying things like, "That was incredibly foolhardy, and I know that I have not perhaps discouraged foolhardy actions in the past, but running through the streets of Montaigne during this season in a dress that clearly paints you as somebody who is of note was not exactly a great idea."
I don't know what came over me then. I just needed that back. I could not.
And
I
I
have another way of proving who I am.
And I understand that, and I know that it was very important to you, but you should have waited for the carriage to turn around so you could have at least turned up at the party looking presentable.
another 5 minutes of delay would not have changed the situation.
I beg to disagree.
As if on cue, there is a quiet clearing of a throat behind Heinrich.
Turn around and see who it is.
Heinrich, your footman, is standing there with Lucia's shoes, looking very uncomfortable.
Thank you.
He probably shouldn't have followed you guys in here, but he is not from Montaigne. He doesn't know the rules. All he knows is that woman is running around without shoes on, which is scandalous.
It's the indecency.
I'll take the shoes back. Now we can go.
I am going to take a long bath after this.
Okay. You all finally, again, once more, return to the carriage and up and inside. Is there anything that is going to be talked about in the carriage?
I'm curious as to what Viviana has offered, but I don't know if she wants to talk about it now.
Yeah, and I think Heinrich is just gonna kind of look out the window at this point.
Heinrich has surpassed disappointed dad into checked out dad.
Once again, Viviana just goes about straightening Lucia's hair, cleaning off her face, straightening her clothes.
She's a mess. The dress is beautiful, but very dirty.
We are not going anywhere. We are done. I do not need to.
Looking crazy. You cannot look crazy and act crazy at the same time.
I am not acting crazy. I am in love. It's very different. And these Montaigne people act like they care about these things. They obviously have never seen a love story.
Yes. You're taking a bath when we get home.
Lucia's hair is hard to deal with on a good day. So it's just full, like, it's mostly down at this point, and it's all just like messy curls.
All right. Viviana, where do you tell Heinrich to take you?
She will tell Heinrich to take her to... where is Chateau du Châtelain? Like, is it isolated, or is it, like, are there other places nearby it?
There are other homes. It's not completely isolated. It's within Charus. It's just not in like the crazy upper end neighborhood. It's in like the, say, like middle upper class.
She will give Heinrich the... No, she doesn't want to take Lucia through the streets unaccompanied, like, without Heinrich. So she'll just tell Heinrich to take them to the address of Chateau du Châtelain.
Okay. This is easy.
The directions.
Yeah, this is easily done. Oh, yes?
I was going to say he instructs the driver on where to take them.
Okay. This is easily done. Heinrich, this isn't a family or a name that you are familiar with, but the house is nice enough. It's, not really like nobility level housing. It's like a well-funded merchant family that's had it for a while, probably owns this place.
Heinrich hops out of the carriage and offers them his hand to assist them down.
Viviana takes the hand.
Almost hilarious considering Lucia almost threw herself out of a moving carriage earlier. Lucia will take the hand and hop down.
I love it. All right. Do you guys see Heinrich off? Are you going to invite him in? What's happening?
Viviana will thank Heinrich for accompanying them. Ask him if there's anything he needs, like if he needs a drink or anything.
No. I quite fine for the evening. Did you require any further assistance?
No, but thank you for accompanying us.
Very well. In that case, I will wish the two of you a good evening, and please be careful if you venture out again.
We will. We won't venture out again, but we will try to be careful.
We will be careful.
Okay. There is an elderly man who answers the door as the two of you get there. He's one of Madeline's servants. The house is pretty quiet. You assume she is probably out at some celebration or whatnot. Or maybe already in bed. It is getting late. But he kind of glances between the two of you, nods to Viviana. Madame, come in.
Thank you.
Do we need to prepare a room for your friend?
Yes, thank you.
I will see to it. And he turns and leaves you two alone in this front hall.
Viviana lets out a long sigh and turns to Lucia and says, "Come with me." And very quickly leads Lucia up to her room.
When you get into your room, Sposa is in her cage and is doing that thing that birds do where they move back and forth on their perch and kind of bob their head like they're clearly restless. And when she sees you, she sings for you.
Sposa. Viviana will go over to greet Sposa, open the cage.
And Sposa immediately hops out and like climbs up onto the top of the cage.
She strokes Sposa's feathers. Says, "Thank you for waiting up for me."
You get a little whistle in return.
And then Viviana will motion Lucia into the room if she hasn't come in already.
Lucia's completely enchanted by Sposa.
Ah, yes, she is beautiful, is she not?
She's very sweet.
She's a lovely, almost dove-looking little white songbird.
Would Lucia recognize anything about it? Like, is this a Vodachan thing?
It is not.
All
right. Sposa will keep you company while I get some things ready. And Viviana will look around her room, go and retrieve a bowl, just a plain bowl from one of her from her things, and she will set the bowl on her dresser, retrieve some water, and pour water into it.
You've got a little washing stand in your room, so there's always a pitcher with clean water in it for you to use for whatever.
Yes. And Viviana will say, "All right, come over here."
I can wash myself.
I'm not going to wash you.
Lucia will come over.
I need to show you something. And, well, just as I will not go around telling everyone your secrets, you, I assume, do not intend to go around telling people mine.
No.
I will spend a drama die to use scrying to see if I can scry on Henri.
So, we'll have Lucia give you a description, but because you are only going on a description and it is an old description, you have your target number is going to be 25 to get a basic reading.
Okay.
So, Lucia, go ahead and describe Henri, please.
And she'll hand Viviana the miniature she has, and then sort of try to explain it the best she can. Well, he was fair, and in his descriptions he said that as he grew very quickly up, but perhaps not out in the same fashion. He says that the portrait would never capture it, but he has a scar on his bottom lip from falling out of a tree, and that when he reads well, but sometimes he must squint when he looks at things far away, so his family will say sometimes that his face looks tense when he is resting. I suppose he's still probably fair-haired, taller, and His eyes are the same, are mostly blue, but have little rings of brown in them. Something else they won't capture in the portraits they make of him. Is that helpful?
Yes, Viviana's eyes were closed as she was listening to that description. She was holding the sides of the bowl. And when Lucia finishes the description, she takes a deep breath, opens her eyes, and hovers her hands over the bowl of water. And I will roll.
Oof.
Can I spend drama dice on this?
You can absolutely spend drama dice on this.
Can I spend drama dice on this?
No.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Okay.
Brutal.
Well, that's not happening.
Rough.
Oh my god!
How many drama dice do you have?
I just spent one. I spent one to activate scrying, spent one on this, so I would have one left. Nah.
Yeah, you're never going to make it, not unless you hit multiple tens. Okay.
I'm gonna die.
True love denied.
So Lucia, you watch as Viviana holds the sides of this bowl and stares down into the water, and lowers her face to the surface and then into the water itself. And I want you to roll me just raw wits.
My jump stat.
Well, there's always a chance. It's just a target. It's like a target number 15. It's
Yeah.
Basic. Nope. All right, cool.
Nothing.
A 2 and a 1. Excellent. You don't notice anything. What you do find, though, is as you were staring and waiting for something to happen, and a little concerned about the fact that Viviana has her face submerged, Viviana, your eyes open under the water, and you see the bottom of the bowl.
Viviana very irritatedly, retracts her face from the bowl, breathes deeply, and says, "Nothing tonight. I will try again tomorrow. I think I am tired."
Do I want... What?
Viviana sighs, looks over at Lucia and says, I am a sorcerer.
You are a courtesan.
I am not a striker.
What did you... How... What?
There are a great many things that led to me having the abilities that I do, even though they have decided not to show themselves tonight. That I can sometimes, when the powers agree with me, glimpse things that are happening in another location without having to be there myself.
And you do this by ruining your makeup.
Yes, by submerging myself in water. Water is very important.
I see.
Lucia, you've never heard of sorcery like this. You've heard of a lot. You're not, you can't read, but you're not uneducated. You've never heard of sorcery like this.
Lucia's kind of going through a lot of expressions around her face, and then just, and you certainly don't know any sorte.
No, I know no sorte. I am not striker, like I said.
Can you show me how to do that?
No, it is something that you must be born with, much like you cannot show me how to pull at the strands of fate.
So where does it come from?
That is a complicated tale. One that perhaps I will tell you the details of at another time. Like I said, I am sorry I could not show us Henri tonight. I will try again after resting.
All right. Perhaps tomorrow, then.
Perhaps tomorrow. I know that this is not something that you will have ever heard of, and that is by design.
Maybe there will be a way to combine our talents.
Yes, perhaps there will be.
And I think, on that note, we will call it for the evening. Thank you for listening to Opus de Requiem, a 7th C First Edition actual play by Hollowhaven Studios. Storytelling for this actual play is provided by Bloodied Porcelain. Alexander Hutcheson is played by Bookkeeper. Lucia de Felici is played by Clara Allison. Heinrich von Groth is played by Typhoon. Alonso Hernandez is played by Overthinker. Viviana Lucani is played by Glamour. Our intro music is by Sémø. Our art is by Daryl Arazak, who can be found at artstation.com/Daryl Arazak. Our editing is by Virens.